Well, hello, good morning. This is Jeff Hooks, and I'm excited to welcome all of you to our VNI partner training for this Saturday, May 16th. It is right at 11 a.m. Eastern, and we've got a great event lined up for you today, including a special guest speaker, director leader Heather Danenberg, and we're going to be introducing her in just a little bit and having a poolside chat. We're going to be taking, as I mentioned just in pre-conference or the pre-event, that we're going to be having the opportunity to ask some questions to Heather and pull out a pen and paper and hopefully, or a digital device if you're in the 21st century like I'm not, and take notes and let's learn from each other. So I'm excited that you're with me. This event we do every single Saturday. And we want it to be casual. We want it to be kind of a workshop environment. I don't want it to be, it's not a formal presentation like our Tuesday evening Zooms or our Thursday evening Zooms where, we're focused on primarily guests learning more about the products, learning more about the partner model with VNI. This is an opportunity for us to kind of I always envision all of us sitting around a conference table or sitting around even a pool. That'd be better since we're going to have a poolside chat with Heather later. But I always like the vision of us sitting around with a notepad and paper and learning from each other. That's kind of the vibe that I want us to create and think about as we continue to work on making these Saturday VNI partner trainings the best they can be. But the purpose is very simple. It's to, no matter where you are in your VNI journey, whether you're just a brand new partner, maybe in the last 24 hours, and you're just engaging in the mission, the VNI mission of assisting or helping people become beacons of health, hope, and abundance. How do we do that? We do that with our amazing proprietary products backed by unprecedented scientific validation. And we do that through our partner model. So we help people become beacons of health, hope, and abundance physically with their physical health and wellness with our products, and then financially and lifestyle through our partner model. And that's the mission. So you might be brand new, and this might be your first live training that you've plugged into. And if it is, you're in for a real treat. We all put a lot of effort, Ed, Gina, myself, Heather, Ken Nasmitz, every leader that's ever participated, Cynthia Sauer. I don't want to leave anybody out, but we put a lot of effort into making sure that the content that we focus on every Saturday is fundamentally solid, because it's really the fundamentals that will equip and empower you to build a business. It's first of all, you learning the fundamentals, applying those fundamentals by taking action, and then teaching others to do the same. That's kind of the leadership journey as it relates to this business. And so back to our purpose. If you're brand new, we want to teach you some of the basic fundamentals that will help you get off the ground and get profitable. Okay, get off the ground and start making a contribution. And that's the beautiful thing about it. When we talk about building a profitable VNI business, the only way to do that, the only way for you to reach your financial goals, and let me share something with you, because some people have this wrong, what I'm getting ready to say. It's okay to have financial goals. You're not greedy if you have financial goals with your VNI business. You're not materialistic if you would like to create a $10,000 a month residual with VNI, or 20 or 30 or 50. That's not materialistic. By the very nature of the VNI business, this model is mission driven. The only way to generate remuneration or compensation back is through contribution, by blessing people with these products and blessing people with the business model. So it's about giving before getting. It's about contribution. And so whatever your goals are with VNI, our purpose today is to help you, equip you, and empower you to take that next step. It's about you. And if you're taking notes, and I hope all of you are, it's about progress, not perfection. We talk about that consistently. This training is not designed to fire hose you if you're brand new and teach you everything that there is to know in the next 45 minutes and you're set for life. No, it's designed to help you take that next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. And we work on it together. It's a journey, but it's about progress, not perfection. So give yourself a break, relax. Don't try to be perfect. If you're a perfectionist like some of us, you don't like to make mistakes. Nobody likes to make mistakes, but John Maxwell wrote an amazing book a number of years ago called Failing Forward. Failing Forward. Write that one down if you haven't read it. I'm going to put it in the chat bar, by John Maxwell. So it's an amazing book. And it was really good for me. It was really good. It reminded me of what I already knew, but leadership is action and adjustment, action and adjustment, action and adjustment. You take a step, you take a look and you say, all right, you look at the feedback. Was this a positive step in the direction that I want to go? Was this a positive step in the direction of my dreams and my goals? And if it is, okay, boom, take the next step, rinse and repeat, right? If you need to make adjustments, make adjustments. But that's the beautiful thing about it. So the mindset of progress, not perfection, gives us the privilege and the ability and the grace and permission. It gives us permission to not be perfect. And guess what? When we're sharing these products and we're sharing with the business with people that we know, they already know we're not perfect, so we can relax. we're all on the same page. It's okay. So I think sometimes we all put too much pressure on ourselves that, hey, before I share the new Perform Light product, I've got to have all the answers. I got to have everything, I've got to have everything figured out before I share the Protovite with somebody. I've got to know every ingredient on the label and what it does. I've got to be a mini Bill Downs, and I've got to know everything there is about everything. And thankfully, that's not true. Bill Downs blesses us, and Steve Kushner and Dr. Bocci and Dr. Blum and the whole team. They bless us with, not only in Bill's case with his visionary leadership, but at the fundamental level, they bless us with these amazing products. And then our job is to get out there and share them. So the purpose, I've set the stage in a big way, and I've also covered some nuggets that I hope you picked up on. The purpose is always just to learn, to get together on a Saturday and learn from each other. And then we record these events, as you know, and if you're brand new, you will know. We record these events. Every single event we do, we record. So they're available for you as a resource for you and your team 24/7. You can be training your team 24/7 while your toes are in a pool somewhere by leveraging the content and the system and the platform that we've created to support you and your partner team and your customer base. So that's pretty exciting. Now, for those of you that are emerging leaders or even leaders, we always have some of our top pen levels, top producers. I see names, and I don't want to leave anybody else, but I want to give some kudos out to people I see pretty much every single week. Annette Collins, Chris Sauer, Cynthia Rose, Donna Morrow, Ed and Gina, always. Again, I don't want to leave anybody. Mark Rieger, Kent Mast. I've been seeing Kent and Colleen and gosh, Michael Saletti. It's just, we've got great participation. And so you might, if you're brand new, you might ask yourself, you say, okay, why do these leaders and top emerging leaders, why are they plugged in to a fundamental training? Well, they recognize, like I want you to recognize, the importance of staying plugged in, the importance of recharging. I always think of plugging into events as like having your smartphone and plugging it into the charger, the AC/DC, the power outlet. Okay, if we don't plug in over time, what happens to our smartphone or our device? It dies, right? The battery dies. And if you don't plug in as a partner, if you isolate and don't plug into the system, then you don't get recharged and you fade away. And so we don't want that. So they are leading by example. They recognize that, hey, I'm plugging in so that I can recharge. They're plugging in because they understand that none of us is as smart as all of us. So we learn from each other. We share ideas. We share best practices. And then third, and I've already touched on this, they're leading by example. What you'll learn is that your team will do what you do, not what you say. So if you say plug in, but then you're never on any of the events, I don't know how it works, but I just take it from my experience in the space for over 30 years. Your team will do what you do. The most powerful form of leadership with your VNI business is doing what you want your people to do. Okay, so with that, let me start the screen share, and we're going to let me give you the format. We're going to cover about 20, no more than 25 minutes of some content that Heather and I discussed yesterday and again briefly this morning. And then I'm going to be formally introducing for the event Heather Danenberg, and we're going to have a poolside chat for the rest of that time. So it's going to be a great time together. All right, let me start my screen share. See if I can do that without twisting my ankle or hurting anybody. All right, play from current slide. And there we go. All right, so here's what's interesting. I want to. Sometimes you might feel like this is a broken record whether it's me or Ed or Gina or Heather coming up. But the key to you reaching your goals and objectives with VNI is right here. Those big words, in all caps, all uppercase, and that's your share activity. And what the question is how many new people, new individuals, are you sharing the VNI products with and the VNI mission with? At the end of the day, as you're going through the learning curve, listen, you can be a PhD, many Bill Downs, and know everything that's on this bottle and not build a business and not have one customer. Okay, what you want to focus on is learning how to share and then sharing. I'm going to do that one more time. What we want you to focus on is learning how to share and then sharing. And then I'll add to the sharing, share consistently and share often. We want you to learn how to share and then share consistently and share often. That's how you're going to reach your goals and objectives. And if you focus on anything other than your sharing activity, and when I say your sharing activity, that's you leading by example. And here's the beauty of this. As you build a partner team, it's the share activity collectively between your partner team. Okay, so that's what you'll ultimately, you've heard me say this, and I want you to write it down. Build the model and then replicate the model. Build the model, replicate the model. So the model is you learning how to share. And guess what? As you share, you're going to be adding customers, you're going to be adding partners. And with the partners, with the customers, you just take care of them, you onboard them, make sure you encourage them to develop the habit of taking the products every day, whatever they ordered. Let them know when we've got new exciting additional products to share with a major product launch like we just had with Perform Light. And you ask for referrals. That's how you stay close to your customers. You don't want to pester them. You want to nurture and support them. And then your customers, I'll ask you a question. When's the last time you've gotten, for some of you leaders that have been around a while, when's the last time you've gotten a referral from one of your customers? Write that down. If anybody wants to chat me an answer for me or Heather, that'd be great. But when's the last time you actually got a referral from one of your existing customers? And I want you to recognize that the best source of new customers is oftentimes, it's not just the people you know and the people you meet. Yes, they're a great source, but it's asking your satisfied customers. Some of you have VNI customers that have been enjoying these amazing products for years and years and years. Some of you for 6 years. When's the last time you checked in on them, said, hey, how you doing? How's the family? How you doing in these strange times, these challenging times that we're all experiencing? And then, oh, by the way, who can you point me to that would be blessed by these products like you've been? The reason our partners don't get referrals from existing customers is because they don't ask. Jim Rohn says the things that are easy to do are easy not to do. So incorporate that. Start leading by example and start teaching your team the same thing. Okay, so that's with your customers. Now with your partners, you want to teach them how to share just like you're sharing. And that's the power of the model. So here's the idea. Think back, draw a little box in your notes. And again, this is not to beat anybody up. This is a focus exercise. How many, in that little box, you're going to put a number in just a second. How many brand new people did you share VNI with, either the products or the mission or both, in the last 7 days since Ed and Gina's great training last Saturday. So in the last 7 days, and these are new people. This is not circling back to somebody that you shared with a week ago or 2 weeks ago or a month ago or a year ago. This isn't circling back for some of you leaders to someone that was a customer years ago and canceled, and which, although that's a good idea. When we have a new product launch, that's an opportunity for those of you that already have built a business to go back to all of your existing customers and let them know about Perform Light. Go back to all your former customers that are no longer customers. Let them know about Perform Light. Make sure all of your existing partners know about Perform Light. Make sure all your former partners that have maybe faded away or lost focus or quit before they even got going, and let them know about Perform Light. It's an opportunity to reconnect. It's an opportunity to talk to them and share with them some of the exciting things happening in the world of VNI. And then, oh, by the way, this is a former partner maybe that was engaged years ago for some of you. By the way, let me tell you about the VNI Life app. Not only do we have the new Perform Light, but let me tell you about the VNI Life app. It's never been easier to share and build a business with VNI. You see how that works? So, but all of those things I'm discussing and the ideas I'm discussing, I hope that kind of fuels your creativity, because it's all share activity. So back to the last week. How many brand new people have you shared VNI with in the last week? And there's no room for excuses. This is not, again, it's about progress, not perfection. You've got, a little square. Hopefully you wrote in your notes, a little square, and there's room for a number. And put that number in there. It's 0, it's 1, it's 2, it's 10, whatever it is. Now, think about your goals. And then what I want you to do right here, right now, I want to encourage you in the spirit of partnership and collaboration and support. I want to encourage you to write another square. And then ask yourself, how many new people am I going to share the VNI products with and the VNI mission with in the next 7 days? And write a number in that. And make sure that number is consistent with your goals, with your vision of what you want to create with your VNI business. So it's all about the share activity. And if you will stay laser focused on that and don't look left and don't look right, recognize, and as you share with passion, share with belief, share with conviction. We've got trainings on how to share. They're in your back office. They're also in your VNI Life app. Sharing activity is impact activity. That's where the rubber meets the road. Be intentional with your sharing. Share with a purpose of contribution, not what's in it for you, but what's in it for them. It's no secret that people have never been more focused on their personal health and wellness than right now around the world. Certainly everywhere we do. People have never been more focused and interested in boosting their immune system. And we've got amazing proprietary products, as all of you know, backed by 48 peer-reviewed published clinical studies, multiple patents, patent pending, our absorption technology, nutrition that gets in. The world needs to know about these products. But recognize, here's the beautiful thing for those of you that are new. The mindset is it's a sorting process, not a convincing process. What does that mean? That means you don't have to be a professional salesperson and overcome objections and excuse me, and try to power close somebody to buy the product. We're looking for people that are looking. 75% of adults in North America supplement right now. That number's higher for sure now. Gosh, what's the name of that one product? Hold on a second. I've got my notes right here. Hold on. I'm drawing a blank, but you're going to know. Oh, Airborne. Airborne and Emergency are sold out across the country. And I'm not going to disrespect those formulas, but please give me a break. I mean, seriously, you compare those formulas to the VNI products. It's like comparing in terms of skill set, it's like comparing, I don't want to use that example. It's like comparing my skills playing tennis, and I played college tennis, to Roger Federer. That's what it's like. And by the way, I played college tennis many pounds ago and many years ago. That's the difference between Airborne and Emergency and the VNI products. Airborne and Emergency is like Jeff Hooks' tennis skills, bless his heart, and the VNI products are Roger Federer, the Grand Slam champion, best that's ever played, or one of, depending on your personal preferences. But here's the point: it's a sorting process. So you don't have to. It's think about education, sharing information, not convincing; sorting, not convincing. We're looking for people who are looking better health physically and financially. We're looking for people who want more out of life. That's the key. We're wanting to equip people with nutritional technology that's very consumer friendly, simple, convenient, complete, tastes great. All of our products are very simple, easy to take, and we want to put those in the hands of people that are looking for more out. They're looking for improvement. They're looking for more out of life. We're looking for people that have a need or a desire for something more. Now, let me tell you what we're not looking for. Now, we want to put the products in hands of your friends and family and contacts and neighbors. Look, I mean, these products will bless anybody. But let me just be real candid. The way to not grow your business is to say, okay, I'm going to build a VNI business. Let me think about the sickest people I know, the people with the most health issues I know. I'm not saying we don't share with those individuals, but that's really not the target of our mission. Is prevention. Now, we all know, and those of you that have customers, we know these products do amazing things. We don't make any health claims. Our products aren't designed to treat or cure, but it's very simple. When you give your body the raw materials, the nutrition that the body needs, the body does amazing things. So we want to bless if we want to bless every human being on the planet with these products. Let me be clear. But in terms of focus, if you want to grow your business and make a bigger impact. Who makes a bigger impact? The partner in terms of contribution, the partner that has 5 customers or the partner that has 50 customers? Who's making it? Now, again, they're all important, but follow the logic. The goal is 50 customers or 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 or 50,000 customers is a bigger impact than 5 or 10 or 15. So at the end of the day, instead of focusing on curing people, which is not what we do, that's not our mission. Again, we want to bless everybody with these products, but focus on those individuals. Look back at that last bullet point, that have a need or desire for some positive change in their life. Put the product in their hands. We're a preventive health company as much as anything. We want to nourish the body so the body doesn't break down. Say less to more people. That's a real important point. It's say less to more people. Pardon me, my wife our thermostats are probably 15 degrees off. In other words, when she's comfortable, it's 15 degrees warmer in the house than when I'm comfortable. All right. And I say that with love and respect, and I'm hot, so you can see who is in control. I love what Bill Downs says. Bill, when he's talking about his lovely bride, our co-founder and Chief Business Officer, Kim Downs, he says, I'm the head of the household, but my lovely wife, Kim, is the neck, and the neck controls the head. I always thought that was beautiful. All right. So got a few more minutes before our introduction on sharing activity. The idea of saying less to more people means don't share with one person. And I've done this in the previous life when I was in a partner role, like all of you. I'll share with 2 or 3 people. And then I kind of make a career out of circling back with those 2 or 3 people. And all of a sudden weeks go by and months go by. And my share activity, all this that I'm teaching you is from personal experience in building businesses. So I want you to understand that. So when I look at my share activity, I wasn't sharing with new people. And when I realized that, I said, wait a minute, I've got to share with new people. I got to say less to more people. That's when everything opened up. I got out of my own way, and I gave myself permission to build a real business and to make an impact. It's kind of interesting. Now, consistency is the key to creating momentum. Invite, share, follow up. We're not going to go too deep in that right now, but we'll be talking about, and probably we'll talk about this some in our discussion with Heather. The process of sharing is invite people to learn about the products, share the information, let our tools do the heavy lifting, especially the VNI Life app, and then you follow up. When you follow up, you're asking questions. Hey, what did you like about what you saw? What did you like? You know, if you're sharing a Perform Light sample, and then you forward the PDF, and you know, maybe you're sharing with somebody in your neighborhood. You ask, what did you think? Didn't it taste great? What did you feel? You know, let's get you started. Imagine having one prototype and one Perform Light every day. Could you imagine how your body's going to feel when you're giving you're nourishing it with nutrition that gets in every day? So that invite, share, follow up, and every stage of the process is important. You're moving people to a good yes, or you're moving people to an informed no. The 2-a-day, 10-in-play concept, folks, that's something as leaders, I want all of you and emerging leaders to please implement with your businesses. Teach and train it. When you connect with your team, ask them, hey, what's your share plan? What's your share activity? 2-a-day, 10-in-play means you're going to share VNI with 2 new people a day, every day. It could be 5 days a week, take the weekends off. Could be 6 days a week. Some of you, if you're like a Ken Nasmith, sees at least 1 a day, 7 days a week. That's his plan. But that's up to you. It's your business. You're the CEO of your own VNI position. So you've got your own business, and so it's your plan. But the 2-a-day, 10-in-play, the 10-in-play means at any given moment with that level of consistent activity, you've got 10 men and women that are actively looking at the products that you're moving through the process. You share information. Hey, the next step is I want to introduce you to one of my partners who's having great success. And you do a 3-way call. Hey, the next step is let me plug you into the Tuesday night product introduction event to get more details on the product. Hey, the next step is if there's an interest in the business, let me forward you the replay from Thursday night's partner overview where Ken Nasmith's, executive director Ken Nasmith's, along with Jeff Hooks, our president, went through an overview of the partner model. You know, whatever it is, the next step is, and you share something else. Keep the process moving. That's the key. What I've learned, and from my own mistakes, is sometimes we invite, share, and then there's a cliff of silence. We invite, share, there's no follow-up, and people are busy. People forget even what you talked about. So that follow-up needs to be perfect world within 24 to 48 hours. And so the 2-a-day, 10-in-play is a wonderful model. If you want to back that down, at a minimum, y'all, listen, 1-a-day, 5-in-play, and you do that for the next 12 to 24 months, you can build an amazing business. One new person a day. You can do that with a quick phone call, use the VNI Life app. That ties into Ken Nasmith's original, for his plan, which he shared publicly, of 15 minutes a day was his original goal when he came on board. Okay. Now, I'm going to be real quick here. Sharing tools. The VNI Life app is the #1 source for sharing resources. You've got videos from the VNI Life app. You've got videos. You've got the marketing website. You've got Zoom presentations. You've got product brochures and PDFs that are on the VNI Life app. Got conference calls, your marketing website, which I already mentioned. Doing launch events with new partners. Y'all, I've shared this with you. Many years ago, I built a business as what we call a partner with a company that didn't have products that hold a candle, that don't even come close to the VNI products in any way, shape, or form. And that's just the truth. Compared to the marketplace, they were great products. Compared to VNI, they were not. And the key to me building an organization that had 70,000 product subscriptions in my business, okay, so that's 70,000 people around the world in 40 countries around the world that were consuming the product every single day and month on subscription, was number 7. Every time a new partner came on board, we created and we taught and trained and duplicated as a team launch events, either in person, conference call, or Zooms using modern technology. We didn't have Zoom back then. This is 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8 is when I built that business. And the launch events, small group launch events, where a new partner, you bring me onto your team, and I want to build a business. I want to engage in this noble mission. We're looking for missionaries, not mercenaries. So I say, you know what? I want to be part of your team. I want to engage. I want to do this. Then you say, okay, let's do a little bit of training. Let's set some goals, but pull your calendar out. Let's schedule 2 launch events in the next few weeks, preferably the next 2 weeks. And we'd pull the calendar out, schedule the launch events, and go. And then when a partner would come on board, rinse and repeat. We do the exact same thing. And so these launch events, sometimes they had no people. Sometimes they the new partner only invited 1 or 2 people and they no-showed. Sometimes the new partner would invite 30 or 40 and we'd have 20 or 25. But more often than not, we averaged 4 to 5 people at these launch events. And we replicated that. And remember that sharing activity we're talking about? Guess what kind of sharing activity was generated? And as a result, my business alone averaged over 1,000 brand new customers a week joining the business. Customers and partners with product orders. Brand new every week. And the key was the launch events. Now, if I had something like the VNI Life app combined with launch events, woo, forget about it. and so I want y'all to realize you've got the tools right now to absolutely explode your business. And in some cases, you don't even know it. Okay. Remember Jim Rohn, the things that are easy to do are also easy not to do. Special events like the Vision Tour, we were going to do a spring tour, but obviously that was canceled. Hopefully we'll do a fall tour based on, the climate here, for lack of a better description. 3-way calls with your upline success coach. That's the key. That's the key. Do 3-way calls, especially as part of the follow-up. And remember, less is more. Now, last thing I want to share with you, increasing your share effectiveness. Number 1 is it's all about sharing. Okay. We've talked about that, your share activity. The goal is to add a new customer, a new partner, placing a product order, and adding a subscription. Now, when you share, combine, use the tools, use the VNI Life app, use the recorded Zooms, use the live Zooms, use everything we just talked about, use launch events, use 3-way calls. When you share, and then you combine that sharing activity with understanding the needs and desires of the person you're sharing with, that involves asking questions and listening, then you're even going to get better results. And then when you add number 3, you do the share activity. With no share activity, nothing's going to happen. That's what we have to keep realizing. I'm kind of coming at that from different angles. But when you share, and then you share combined with the understanding of the needs and desires of the individual you're sharing with, and therefore showing them how the VNI products or mission can help them get where they want to go, right? And then you add the authenticity of your own story, what the products have done for you, what the business has done for you, what your vision is with VNI from a personal health and wellness perspective for yourself and your family, from a business perspective for yourself and your family, then that's the most effective you can possibly be. Sharing, plus knowing the needs and desires of the person you're sharing with by asking questions and listening, and then also making sure you share your story every time you share, and the belief that you have in the VNI products and the model, and you're going to be the absolute most effective you can possibly be. Okay. All right. Let me stop my screen share here. And I am so excited to introduce our featured leader for today. We're going to have a poolside chat since it's getting this close to summer. Heather Danenberg, go ahead and you can unmute your video and your audio. First of all, thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us this evening or this day, this morning or afternoon. And let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm such a fan of you and your hubby. Y'all have made such an impact in the VNI world in a very short period of time. But maybe let's just start back for those that don't know your story yet, and Mike's perhaps. How did you first learn about VNI, and what attracted you to the products and or the mission?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me this morning. It is an honor and a treat to be here. And I appreciate you asking me to share the story. So I'll put it simplistically. It started with a dog. We went to Ken Nasbitt's house to look at his dog, and my husband wanted to check this dog out. So we'd been there, and on our way out the door, I always call him Kenny. Kenny said, "Hey, do you like supplements?" And the funny thing is, I am a supplement freak. I'm not like normal people. I love to work out. And from the 1980s up until now, I've done all kinds of things. And as an athlete and an individual, I'm always looking to have that edge to be healthier. So you name it, from vitamin C, reishi mushrooms, protein powders, amino acids, you name it, I've tried it. So when Kenny said, "Hey, do you want to try some supplements?" my husband thought it was kind of stupid, and I'm like, "Oh, absolutely." So I think we did a shot of Protovite, and then he gave us some samples of Brain Reward and Protovite. So we left there, and I remember Ken saying, "You might feel a little bit different." Some people express that they feel some energy or a lift, and we eat pretty well for the most part, pretty clean. So we left that day, and my husband has his own story, which I think he's shared before. And then what I noticed was he'd given us some Brain Reward. And I don't know about any other gals out there, but probably in my early 30s, I started having a really hard time with sleep and what I would give for a full night's rest of sleep. Well, the Brain Reward, not only within a week did I notice I was sleeping better, I was far less moodier. And my husband will attest to that. And also, I was able to have more cognitive abilities in my day job. So, as my day job, I'm a banker by trade with a passion for health and fitness. So when we kind of test drove the products, we were both blown away. And my husband's a pretty tough nut to crack. So if he thought they were good, then okay, we'll try it. And so we ordered them and love them. And like I said, from the 1980s until now, we've tried a slew of supplements, or I have. And by far, these are the best products above and beyond anything in the marketplace, whether you're going directly online, Amazon, Vitacost, GNC. These are the best, Jeff. I mean, that's what I feel and have experienced. And also, from trial and error, they're the best.
Awesome. So what, when you first started taking the products, when did you and Mike decide, either collectively or individually, that the engaging in the mission was going to be something that y'all were interested in? How did that all take shape?
I think because in Michael's role of business, he fixes people for a living. So he helps them get out of pain and become healthier. And because he personally saw the benefit to himself, he initially was like, "No problem." And he's fine with direct marketing or network marketing. And in my mind, I'm a very corporate girl. My day job is with a publicly traded company. And I'm like, I have no problem buying network marketing products, but selling them. And so I had to get over myself and realize that, I'll get to your question in a second, realize that, promoting those and sharing those is no different than what I do for corporate America. I'm what they consider a subject matter expert. So when our salespeople go to a finalist presentation, they bring me in to answer tough questions about a particular product. So in corporate America, there's an entirely structured sales, setup for, corporate America to succeed. Well, why not have a structure and setup where the everyday person can succeed? And so shortly after we started taking the product, Michael had made the decision that we're going to go forward. And he just, there wasn't a person he'd meet that he wouldn't share it with. And so he was gangbusters out of the gate.
Terrific. So let me ask you this. What is your what is your impression from a time before we get into some of the lessons you've learned over the last year or so? What is if we look at just the products, the VNI products right now, what is your observation? What are your feelings regarding the timing of sharing the VNI products, the need in the marketplace? I mean, what are you seeing? I mean, do people care more about their health now or less about their health? I mean, what is your perspective on the need and the opportunity that all of our partners have with VNI?
Yeah, absolutely. So I get two perspectives. I get the perspective of my friends at the gym who are always health conscious and looking for that next thing to bring them healthier, more strength, more endurance. And then I look at like my bankers who most people don't work out. You know, they're desk jockeys. They sit at a desk all day. And even at this point, they all want to be healthy. They all want to make sure they're not carrying extra weight. And so there's not a day that goes by. I'm talking just in my corporate career that somebody doesn't tell me they want to become healthier, they want to lose weight, they want to feel better. And I think in this day and age, in our culture, it's really tough. We're inundated with commercials and a food promotion that promotes people to eat garbage, yet they feel bad and they don't know what to do. So I think from a timeliness perspective with VNI, we couldn't be more teed up to be exactly what folks need to better themselves in a health perspective. And then also too, having a side gig or looking for a means to take care of yourself and your family, there's no shame in wanting to earn an income whatsoever.
Yeah, that's interesting. What I was gonna, that's where you led me to the next question. I was wanting to get your insight on. What do you think about from a VNI perspective, the partner model? What do you think about the timing now with parents dealing with distance learning and all those challenges and all the things that we know about? I mean, do you think from a timing perspective, and I agree with your assessment 100%, we're seeing that the demand for our products has never been higher. And some of the industry experts in the nutritional science and wellness space say that immune boosting products are going to be the leading product category even over weight loss for the next several years. So I agree with your assessment and your observation 100%. I know that you and Mike have added several customers in the last week to 10 days. But what about on the partner side? And you touched on this, but I mean, how do you feel from a timing standpoint in terms of all the partners that are plugged in to learn from you today? You think there are more people looking for a side gig than a few months ago? I mean, what do you think about the timing?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question because you can't help but look at the news. It's like a train wreck. You don't want to look at it, but you can't turn away. And when we look at the economic uncertainty of what's going on in our nation, it all comes down to the individual. How are we going to promote and survive ourselves and support ourselves? And I think from a timing perspective, in partnership and looking to build more partners and how to enhance being a partner, we couldn't be more timely. No one's going to take care of us financially. We're going to have to take care of ourselves. And this is an amazing way to do it, not just with some kind of fluff products, but with true supplements and vitamins that really work. And I'm not just blowing smoke because I've tried a million things over the last 35 years. These are the best. So being able to go out and use the products as the baseline of substantiating and building your business, I think it's going to bring great enhancements, to the ability for someone to take care of themselves and support their family and support their lifestyle.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's interesting. We've talked about this a little bit in the past. You and I've talked about it individually. For all of our partners listening in, the power of part-time with VNI, the power of a $500 a month income. And again, Heather, you and I have talked about this, but for everyone else, think about this for a second. What is a $500 a month business with VNI, a part-time business that's throwing off $500 a month? What's the value of that business? And if you think about it, if you think about what you would, for example, in a savings account, I think right now, I haven't checked lately, I think the best savings account rates you can get from the larger banks or might be 1.3% a year or 1.5%.
You know, Jeff, I think the best savings rate right now is like 0.5%, which is 50 basis points.
Oh
so,
my God,
yeah.
I can't believe that. Now, so let's pretend, just for ease of math, let's pretend you could get 2%, a 2% fictional rate that you can't get from a bank for savings. All right, so you would have to accumulate $300,000 after taxes, park in a savings account to throw off $500 a month residual. Think about that. $300,000 you'd have to accumulate and set aside after taxes to throw off $500 a month cash flow on the side. And so I think when you realize the power, now if your goal is to build a 20 or 30,000 a month or more business with VNI, and you're at $500 a month, you might, if you're left without proper context, someone might think, well, I don't feel that good about it. But if you step back, progress, not perfection, and you realize the value of a $500 a month residual. And obviously with you and Mike, I mean, y'all exceeded that your first 10 days on a part-time basis and have never looked back. But I think for context, $500, $1,000 a month to pay off credit card debt, supplement retirement, whatever it is, give a plan B to build a savings account for rainy days. Makes so much sense. And so, one of the things, back to you, Heather, one of the things that I'm so excited about, and I want everyone to know this, in terms of staying plugged in and leading by example, Heather does that every day, every week. She's on almost all the events, even with family commitments and a big job with a large corporation. But we were having a conversation yesterday. Heather was practicing some of the tips I was sharing earlier, and she was on the phone with one of her customers who is interested in potentially being a partner. And so you shared a few tips in our debrief that I thought would be so valuable for the rest of the company. Those 3 key principles in that conversation. So I want to pass the baton to you to walk through, from your experience and insights, those 3 fundamentals that are so important for everyone listening in.
Absolutely. Thank you. So one of the things I thought that was pretty interesting as I was talking with Michael was we have one person, she was posting her workout and she had a bottle of Protobite in her hand. And I thought, well, if she likes it that much, maybe she should sell it. And when I brought it up to her, she's like, oh, I always share Mike's link. And I said, well, we should get you your own link if you really like it. So I explained to her there are 3 things that really are amazing about VNI Life. The products, which we've already talked about, but she loves them. Her dad loves them. It's hard to sell something that you don't believe in. And when you believe in something, it's easy to share. And when you use it and demonstrate it, it's a no-brainer. So the products, and then the second piece were the tools. And what I don't think sometimes people understand is that in corporate America, we spend millions and millions on resources, infrastructure, systems, reporting. People like me, I'm not even a direct revenue generating entity, but I help our sales folks. And so with VNI, our tools, which you already went over a little bit, Jeff, from the VNI Life app to individual portals, meaning that when you become a partner and you want to share the VNI Life experience, you have your own portal. You don't have to get any tech resources. You don't have to have a high IQ. This stuff is all done for you. There's back office support. When I look at our reports, if I wanted to see who's ordered or who's canceled, our infrastructure for reporting is so robust. I would stack rank it right up there with large corporate America. And so that to me speaks volumes that VNI believes in the organization, believes in its people. And so from a tool perspective, if there's no reason to fail, everything is there at your disposal. And if you don't know what's there, the third pillar are the people. Everyone wants you to succeed. One of the things I was explaining is that in corporate America, I will never meet the CEO. I will never talk to the COO. But yet here at VNI, Jeff, here you are, leadership training from the very top, with Bill and Kim in my mind, scientists are just in a lab coat in the back room, yet I could email or talk to Bill and ask him about the formula, which, you know, you never get that kind of exposure. And I don't take that lightly. And I think, you know, for those of us on the call today, or when we share this or replay it, you know, having access to amazing tools, having access to amazing leadership and the founders of Bill and Steve, you don't get that with any organization, whether it's another network marketing company or sharing company or corporate America. It is really remarkable. And the last thing I'll speak to that's kind of interesting as I have these thought balls, you know, I have a great gig. It's a good day job. I've been there 20 years. I work very hard. We are publicly traded, so I have a fiduciary responsibility to work for the shareholder first and clients. That's important. With VNI Life, you are working to better yourself and others, and the organization wants you to better yourself and others. Like with your leadership, you know, even if it's a book or a recommendation, you know, we're not just here about, you know, selling or sharing a product. It's personal growth. And you're not going to get that from your employer typically or corporate America. You want shareholder growth. VNI is about personal growth, both for yourself as a partner and for your customers that you share it with.
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, those are great nuggets. I hope I'm getting I'm getting several text messages of kudos and high fives. And so what a beautiful impact. And so I'm going to toss it back to you for any closing comments in just a second. And I just want to, actually, I want to ask you this. This will be the closing comments, but I want you to know how much I appreciate your leadership, your engagement. We are a better company because of you, because of Mike. And I'm very grateful for the time that you've invested in all of us today. Where do you see, I'll say maybe from two perspectives, where do you see for you and Mike, of course, the vision over the next 3 to 5 years with VNI, what's possible? And you don't have to share any specifics that you don't want to, but what do you think's possible for you and Mike? And then cascading that same question basically to the rest of the company. What do you see ahead for all of VNI, you know, over the next 3 to 5 years? What do you think's possible? What are your thoughts, vision, where we are, where we're going, those types of things?
From a vision perspective, I think it would be so cool to see VNI as a household name. So for example, and I'm going to use just a quick personal tidbit, Gatorade, right? Everybody knows Gatorade, you know. Now I don't know if we'll see VNI on the cooler of the Patriot sideline or anything, but you know, everyone thinks like when they're sick or thirsty or going to work out, that's what they need. And you know, for example, with the new electrolyte we have, it is amazing. It is an amazing supplement that everyone needs. I had a very bad experience one day because I didn't take electrolytes, and it was at the Ironman Lake Placid, and that turned into like the biggest epic fail of my athletic career. But it was a great lesson, as you talked about failing forward today. I thought that was great. And so I think, you know, with products like this, I would like to see from a vision, you know, a household name, VNI products being legit and a great household name, not just Gatorade or some garbage, you know, the teenager told you to buy at the GNC. You know, I think that would be huge.
I love it. I share that vision. And so listen, let's wrap it up together, Heather. I'm going to let you say the last closing remarks, but thanks again for pouring into us. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for taking time to coach and share best practices and ideas. And then I'm going to let you say goodbye to everyone. And quick housekeeping. Don't forget, everyone, we've got Tuesday night. Of course, we have our product introduction event at 8 o'clock. I think everybody's really liking the shorter format. And then at 9 o'clock, we've got our monthly corporate leadership call, the conference call. So make sure you promote and plug into that with your entire team. And then with that, Heather, I'm going to pass the baton to you to say closing remarks and goodbye.
Thanks. First of all, never feel ashamed to share something good, because in this day and age, we're so quick to share negative news, right? If something bad happens to you, you go blab it off to 10 people. But if something good happens to you, you might tell 1 or 2. So because we have amazing products that you can feel good about and you can take, you know, when you're in doubt, remember, it's the products that are amazing, and there's no shame in that. And Jeff, I thank you for these words, because I'm a perfectionist, or I call myself a perfectionist wannabe. So progress, not perfection, that is just a gem. And I thank you so much. And thank you guys, and have a wonderful week. Enjoy the great outdoors, because sunshine is the best source of vitamin D.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, Heather.